Hello, one and all, and welcome back to the Great Unknown Audio Show with me, Maxim Jennings, and my long-term friend and travel companion, Mr. Nikolai Brown. Nick, how are we doing?
Namaste.
Namaste indeed. We're also joined by Mr. Ollie Bueller, but he's in magnified mode as we start our what we hope should be a very memorable day around Chitwan National Park. We're starting our day with an hour-long canoe across the river, followed by a 3-hour or so trek through the jungle, hopefully to see some wildlife in their natural habitats. And then we come back for a spot of lunch, a bit of reflection time, and then in the afternoon we are doing a 4-hour Jeep Safari, all for the very affordable price of around £38. Nick, what do we think of today's itinerary?
It's good, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Much more looking forward to the morning part, since we have done the Jeep Safari already.
Yeah.
But you never know, every Jeep might be different.
And I guess our safari started last night as we were trying some local taru food, which is Nepalese food. As I was getting stuck into some snails and some local fish caught in this river that we are canoeing upon, we came across a magnificent beast walking down the middle of the road.
Well, a little boy first came up to us and just went, "Rhino!" Rhino? Yes, a rhino coming down the street. So we stopped eating, got up, and sure as hell there was a rhino.
So I guess we've already completed it, mate, really. Don't really need to do this anymore. But no, what a start to our experience at Chitwan. So as we keep moving along the river, I'll keep you updated if we see anything, but for now, just enjoy 20 seconds of gradual movement along the river.
Dangerous, you know. Sometimes the directly can attack.
And of course, Nick, it wouldn't be Nepal without seeing a big JCB digger just on the side of the river.
What do you think its mating call is?
Gosh. It's had there is Nick taking a photo of the digger in action. We make reference to this as we've come to the conclusion that we think because the wet seasons are so bad that restoration of any type of road or riverbank needs to be in full force throughout the whole of the dry season to make sure that floods don't completely destroy the progress that's been made. Or it could be the fact that just Nepal is rapidly trying to develop its tourism entries, construction, and really make a big push in the next few years or so to get them up to scratch with it. At least the standard of Indian roads, which aren't great, but are a lot better than the ones we've been on in recent buses. So this is a nice, serene and tranquil phase of the canoe. And I always seem to have this consistent struggle, which listeners will know about in terms of my flexibility. We are in quite a, for me at least, a narrow vehicle. This means I have a conundrum of where to put my legs. I've been practicing whilst being in the birthplace of Buddha and being around Hindus to go cross-legged more often, because over a series of time with more practice it becomes more comfortable, they say, but I'm trying that at the moment. My knees are banging against the sides of this boat, so it's becoming a struggle. Nick's not letting me extend my legs out because he doesn't want me to get my dirty hiking boots on his trousers.
Look at everyone else.
But everyone else is not. Everyone else can touch their toes at least. I can barely touch my knees. So let's hope the strain doesn't take its toll too much before the walk. We've seen a few birds so far. Lovebirds. I'm not sure what the actual name
Latin name for it is.
Yeah. They always come in pairs, pinkish with black and white wings. We've seen a few kingfishers. Not the beer, not the premiums on the trees, just the birds flying around so far. Keep you posted if we see any crocs, gators.
Going at a rapid pace though.
So we just finished our canoe ride. Absolutely fantastic, incredibly tranquil. What wildlife did we see? We saw 3 crocs. First one, the boatman got pretty close up to it, and it was just, all you could see was its big mouth and little eyes popping out. Family of deer. They were a very serene spotted deer, the second largest deer you can find in this national park. And then followed by a family of peacocks. And then we even got to see a peacock serenading its female counterpart in an attempt to procreate, which was pretty cool. Yeah, so a lot to see. Incredibly enjoyable boat ride. Nick, how did that compare so far to our Ranthambula safari?
Yeah, it's much better. So much better. I mean, first start, it wasn't freezing in the morning. There wasn't a smog as such. We saw many more things.
Yeah, a lot
in the space
things.
in a much shorter space of time.
Yeah,
and we're not even finished yet.
all in the space of an hour. So, onto the trek through the jungle, and we'll keep you posted with what we see, if anything occurs, if we have to run away from a Bengali tiger at any point. That was one of the pieces of advice the safari guy gave us, is to make sure you wear shoes that you can run in, or you can climb trees in. So we'll see if they're needed at any point. Because of the fact the rhino is so big and so round, we were told that it can get up to a speed of 50 kilometers an hour when running in a straight line, but if you run the zigzag away from it, it could almost distort the rhino and make it less likely of absolutely pulverizing you and killing you within an instant. Tigers, on the other hand, you can't really run away from those, so I guess he said to make as much noise as possible. Get a stick, whack it against a tree, and try and act like you're not scared shitless while standing in front of a tiger. And always look it in the eye. Don't turn around, because it makes the tiger think that you want to play a game of it. And that's probably not a game you're going to win. So we spotted a rhino from a good 200 metres away by the lake, and now making our mad dash to see if we can get a closer look. Hopefully it hasn't ran away. I mean, I think it's going to be taking a bath because it is quite hot. It's very hot actually. And so far the only sightings of rhino have been massive lumps of dung. So seeing one rather up close would be a great privilege. And so what our guide was basically telling us is that when we were observing the rhino, it had a broken leg. One of its back legs had been broken. So hence why in the space and time where we've been able to move a couple hundred metres towards it, it hadn't really moved at all. Which kind of makes sense in hindsight considering how quick rhino should be. But this one was really stationary, struggling to move. Then I asked the guide, well, do you reckon he's going to survive? And he said it looks like he sustained those injuries from another fight with a fellow rhino, meaning that if he does have another fight, it's most likely going to lose and unfortunately die. But that's natural selection in the animal kingdom.
The weak get eaten, and the strong eat.
Hence why Nick would be a lovely piece of prey for me to feast on in the wild. Let's hope it never comes to that.
Around you, mate.
I'm wide enough to catch you whenever I want, mate.
He's got the best head for him. maximum your bottom by far.
It's a lager. It doesn't need that much head.
Lager needs more head than ale.
Ale has no head. Lager doesn't
Exactly.
need that. You've got like
That's perfect.
You've got like 3 inches on there.
That's what you need, mate. That's good. That's probably, that's good, mate.
Yeah, second pour doesn't count. Right. Anyway, so last time you heard from us, we just sighted a rhino on our jungle walk. We're now quite far past that point. We've been on a 4, which turned into 5-hour jungle safari around the woods. The forest, the national park. It turned out to be pretty bloody good. Didn't start too well. I do apologise for the background noise of the steam pressure cooker absolutely annihilating some rice. But didn't start too well, but definitely escalated into something a bit better. Nick, thoughts?
The drive was perhaps not as good as the canoe or the hike, but I'm a man who likes to walk about and be one with nature, inside it, in the thick of it. Whereas you feel quite safe on a Jeep. But with the Jeep, like, we got further into the national park, which we figured is about as big as Surrey. So if you can picture Surrey being completely wild, then there you are. But we saw the rhino at the end of it. We saw the osprey. I've never seen an osprey. That's probably the best photo I got of the day, to be honest. We saw the gahale crocodile, which are critically endangered, and they look fucking cool. Excuse my language.
From birth until, well, some of them in that enclosure are about
1 year to 45 years.
Yeah, really bloody old.
Really cool. And a government-owned elephant.
That was over 80 years old, apparently,
80 years
according to our
old.
guide. Definitely wasn't as chaotic as the Indian safari experience.
I didn't see as many American tourists, which were good to spectate and view, because they are in themselves part of the safari in many ways.
Your day overall, Ollie, for your first experience in this kind of realm of tourism, what would you make of it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. So we started off canoeing, which was about an hour's canoe up the Rapti River. Absolutely quality. That was the best part of it. Then we started trekking through the jungle, through the wilderness, very hyped up by our guide. We were sort of panicking about tigers, but all became clear and it was nothing to worry about really, because they are very, very rare. But yeah, good to explore Chitwan National Park. Would recommend. Not bad costing.
No, very, very, very affordable in the grand scheme of things. And that's probably our last day here. So next, we have to part ways, unfortunately. Say goodbye to Ollie, who is continuing his travels to Southeast Asia, Chiang Mai, which Nick and I will hopefully come across at some point. We have to divert, of course. We have to go our own way, as they say in the Fleetwood Mac, absolute banger. To find some way to Kolkata. We've been given a recommendation of a route. We'll see if it plays out by that. Nick says he wants to try hitchhiking for the first time.
Yeah. Oh, good sir, please, go, come on. They'll see us and they'll think, fucking, who are these two weird-looking people in the middle of nowhere in India? Oh my God, let's pick them up. Let's have a chat with them. Let's see if we can sell them something along the way. Of course they'll take us. What vehicle are you fancying? A tuk-tuk?
I do love a tuk-tuk ride.
But what about a tuk-tuk with like the inflatable air balloon on the back of it?
That'd be quite nice, to be fair. Nice.
Or how about a horse and carriage?
We have to get to Calcutta, and then from Calcutta we hopefully will make our flight and not be turned away for having too big of a cabin bag to get to the Big Oz. Right, so for now it's goodbye from Ollie.
Goodbye, chaps and chapesses.
Goodbye from Nick.
Hasta la vista, baby.
And goodbye from me. Goodbye.